Hey everyone, in this video I want to show you how I maintain this daemon list. Now I've done this video in the past and I'm remaking it so that way I can cover it in a little bit more depth, and also because my previous attempt at making this video accidentally very subtly revealed where I go to school and I had to take it down. So here's how this works. You can see that we've got the level name, the creator name, and the ID in 3 columns. And so what we want to do is take the data that comes out of Discord. We've got the level ID, the level name, and the creator name, and turn it into a set of 3 fields that are delimited by a character, for example, a period. And so I wrote a program that does that. Now the way to get it into that program is you have to take a selection like this. In fact, you can take a larger selection and you can paste it into a text document. So here's what that looks like. So you can see how we've got all the emotes get turned into their respective, the text that creates the emote on Discord. You can see that we've got a bunch of white space as well. So I created a script that parses through all this, so it finds like level ID. Okay, so we know that what comes after all of that is the level ID, and we need to isolate it. And it does something similar for the name of the level and the name of the creator. It even includes spaces. So what I've got over here is a fat stack of daemons that need to get put into the list. I've not done that yet. You can see this is a big text document. We've got over 1,000 lines. And so in order to parse that, I just have to run the script. And what I've got to do that is right here, gddaemon parser. So this is just a shortcut that goes to the executable. This is a shortcut that goes to the text document. Both of them are actually sitting inside of the same location right here, which is incidentally the place where when I developed this, it got built to. So let's run it. And it just takes a little bit because we've got so many lines, but usually it's pretty much instantly. We've got it successfully parsed. And then if we go in here, Notepad++ notices that it's changed. We hit OK, and that's all of our daemons. So from here, we can just take all of that, copy it, and we can put it into here. So we had 80, and we only have space for about 70 something. So let's add another 100 rows. And let's do a format painter. Scroll all the way down. There's the borders. And then I should be able to paste. Nope, we've got to reselect it. Format painter, put it on my clipboard. Alright, and then we can hit this button, split text to columns, and detect, or you just hit a period. And there you go. Let's see, we need to take that and format painter it, because this one is not correct. There we go. Now, one thing you want to check for is if any IDs are really small. So, for example, that's 2.1, so we're fine. Let's see here. That might not be 2.1. So in this case, what we want to do is select the 4th column in my situation and go all the way up to the top. And we've got all these updates included in here. And we need to go to Data, and we need to do Sort Range. We can't use one of the quick sorts because our selected column is column 4, but we need to sort on column 3. In this case, C. So I want to do that, A to Z, sort, and now everything that we just pasted in should be sorted based on its age. So now we have all of the IDs running in order, and that's how you do it. So at this point, you're probably wondering, okay, what's inside the program? How does it work? Let's just quickly take the ID here and paste it in here, so that way we know that it's been updated. So let's take a look at how this program works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start in the folder where it's at. So these 2 files are actually part of building it. All you need are these 2 files. So the executable itself, and then in the same folder, the text document that it tries to parse, it has to have this name. And so then let's take a look at the code for this, because I can do that. We're just going to block Microsoft putting my name up in the corner there. That's why the red bar appeared. Alright, so it's just called launch.cs. That's got the source code in it. This is the only thing that has any source code. We want to do view code instead of view the designer. And there you go. So this is the C# code that takes care of it. And this is the logic that actually parses the file, literally that. And then we just have to write to the file, which is what this does. And it's really just this section that actually does the writing. The rest is all set up. So if a problem occurs at any point, then you'll get a message box saying that a problem has occurred. Otherwise, if everything goes right, then right here, you'll get parsed successfully. If an error does occur, it would occur somewhere in here, for example, and then this message would never be displayed, so then this message is displayed instead. And it's a similar case when reading the file and parsing the data, because we do have the same sort of catch right here. So that's how the program works. So a couple notes about what to look out for with this thing. So what we do is we find the play the play button. It looks like a button. It's just an emoji. And we also look for copy. We replace it with nothing. We find object overflow in case it's there, and so on. So what this will do is it will actually preserve leading and trailing spaces in the level name. It also takes out these spaces here. So what you really have to be careful about, and what you should be checking for as you look through any levels that you want to run through this program, is if the level name contains this exact string, space, the word by, and a space. Or if the creator name has this, then that will throw the program off. That's a very rare occurrence. I haven't actually seen that, but it can create a problem, so you want to be aware of that. If you ever find it, then don't run it through the program, deal with it by hand. Level ID is foolproof. It's really just this here that you want to be careful about. This does only get the creator that's specified on the level here, so if you are trying to do multiple creators just because it's a collab, you're going to have to figure that one out yourself. So that's how the program works. That's what you need to be aware of. So what we want to do now, I do have a copy of the program available in a zip folder. So gddaemonparser.zip, and inside of here you'll see the solution file. That's what we clicked on to open it up in Visual Studio. Here's the source code, so if you just want to view that in Notepad++ or something, then you can open that up there to see the source code. All the other files here are completely default when building a Windows form. And then inside of bin and debug, that is where you have the daemon parse .txt and exe. So here you've got actually the example. Let's see, that should not be. Let's see if I can edit it, because what I wanted to do was have all of the unedited data in there. So let's copy this out and go to just a garbage place. No, okay. So it looks like I uploaded it without the sample data, but you can put sample data in it. That's no biggie. So if you want to download the entire package, you can go to Mediafire. So I've got a download here, link will be in the description, and you can download the zip file. That will contain the source code, the text file, and the executable, and you can run that and try it out for yourself. So at this point, one thing to note, of course, is that if you are concerned about running an executable, because after all, once you download this and run it, it's not signed, so Windows will be like, hey, do you really want to run this? It's going to throw up some scary looking window. So you can either just go through that or you can build it yourself. Now to do that, you're going to need Visual Studio, and you'll want to create your own project, right? So let's say you've got Visual Studio here. Let's see. So what you can do is you can create a new project. So a new project, select Windows Forms once the templates come up. Windows Forms with C# in particular. There we go, Windows Form App, .NET Framework. And it can be anything. Let's call it anything. Default place is fine. And then when you create that, it's literally just going to start you off with this blank form here, and then you can view the code for it. And this is just the exact same place that we had for all of the source code that we were looking at earlier. So if we go to it, let's see, daemon parser, and again, you can open this up in Notepad. It's just a text file. So we can take all of this and copy it and paste it in. We do want to take note here really quick of this line and this line, and as well as this. So let's paste that in below, and then what we can do is cut that out, put that up there, and then I'm going to take everything below that initialization piece. Let's see here, we got 2 braces, so everything below this thing. And we want to include that brace because 2 braces need to stay. And then right after this, paste it in, and then we can get rid of all of that. And that will work. That is how you can create it as your own project. You just have to copy the source code in here. And that way you don't have to deal with the scary message, and you can be sure that this thing will work as it's supposed to, and that you're not downloading something that's had the executable replaced with malware, right? Now, if you don't have Visual Studio, there are other ways to verify that it's not malware, and I'm going to show that to you in a second. So let's just save that. In order to actually use it, you have to build it. So sorry, I should have showed that off. So let's go back there. It's going to be in repos. So this is the thing that we just made. I'll show how to build it. So you can go to build and build solution, or if you just hit start, then it will work. Now it doesn't have a text file defined, so we should see a problem occur as soon as we start it. Once it builds, okay, it pulled that up. Oh yeah, because I didn't tie an event handler to it. Okay, that's actually a good point, because we need to have an event handler tied to it. So you want to double click that, and that will create the form 1 load. And we just want to take this header, get rid of all that, and we want to replace this header with it. There, now the events are, now all of this code will actually run when the form is launched. And let's start it up. So now we see a problem occurred. That's because no text file was found. Again, this was just a very quick hack job on my part, so I have not improved the code at all. You just need to know how it works. Thankfully, you've got the code and can figure that out. And so now, if we actually go inside of our project, bin debug, and there it is. So it just needs a daemon parse text file. It looks like it created one because of the write mode that it was in. So That's how it does that. So it actually creates its own. I didn't realize that, but that makes sense because when we have a file mode.create, then it will do that. This code runs regardless of whether or not it finds anything here, so it makes sense that it would just work. Yeah, clearly I haven't tested this very much. It was just a hack job. Does it work? Yes. All right, good. Move on. Okay, so let's suppose that you can't build it yourself. What should you do then? Well, in that case, what you can do is you can actually perform a checksum on the zip file or even the executable itself. So let's do one on the zip file. So you want to navigate to the directory where the zip file is at, and then run this command here. So assert util hash file, then, oh, that's the executable. Let's go to the zip file. So assert util hash file gddaemon parser.zip SHA-256. All right, and if we run that, then we get a checksum. So this hash right here, I'm going to throw that into Notepad++ really quick. So that is what you're looking for if you run a checksum on the on the zip file. If anything in here is different, then you know that it didn't download correctly or you downloaded an imposter. So that's something to look out for. And you can do the same thing for the executable. Let's say you just get the executable for some reason. All right, so we can run that and we can get the executable. There you go. So if anything is different from that, if you run this command on the executable, then you know that it's not the same executable. So these two checksums will be in the description as well. Please, if you actually run the executable, check it to make sure that it downloaded correctly and that you have the right, you got it from the right source, because I am not responsible if somebody replaces it with malware and you go to a faulty link, because you have tools to prevent that from happening, and I showed you how to use them. All right. So with that covered, you now know how to perform a checksum. You know how to build it from source if you want to do that as well, just by copying in the code and editing it to make it work from scratch. You also know how to use it. You know what to look out for, what it doesn't work with, and you also know how to actually put the data into a spreadsheet kind of like this one, which is based on WAD's template. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully you found it a lot more comprehensive than my last attempt at making this video, where I accidentally showed off what school I go to. I don't think anybody noticed, but that video has been deleted for a couple of months at this point, so you're not going to be able to dig that up and figure it out. So anyway, that's how this works. The weekly daemons are a little bit different. I'm still typing these out manually. So anyway, we will not belabor this outro any further. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this interesting. Put your questions and comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you with another video. Bye.